Hi. Hi friends, how are you doing? It's been a long time. It feels like a few weeks. After doing those daily lives, I so got used to doing it, and then, we went to Vegas, and then we went to Florida, so now I'm back. So anyways, hi everyone. When you're here, go ahead and drop a comment and say hi and where you're watching from, just so I can see. And if you are watching the replay, go ahead and say replay and where you're watching from. Hi Kim, hey. So I can give you a shout out or whatever. And if you share this, let me know you shared it too, so I can thank you for that. So if you see, I'm gonna talk about some stuff. This is going to be a little hard for me, but I've been thinking about it for a few days, and I just think it's so important. It's so important to talk about because it's kind of unfair that I know this and I haven't shared it. So it is something that, I may not feel totally comfortable to talk about with everyone. I'm going to. So we all hear, and it doesn't have to be, for your network marketing business or your direct sales or anything. It can just be like you have something you want to do in life, and the thing that drives us, that gets us out of bed, that gets us through the hard times, we call our why. So why are we doing something? A lot of times, they say that when you want to stop something or when it gets hard, it's important to think about why you started. A lot of people, and I'm one, will say my why is my family. I'm here, and this may not be a very popular opinion, to say that your why, being your family, is not a good enough why. So bear with me. An external motivator is great, and it can help with some things, but an external motivator is not going to get you through those hard times. And your family, your wife, your husband and kids is something on the outside. My why had to eventually, I had to find something inside me. So yes, of course I do this to help my family and help my kids, and that, but that isn't, what really drives me. And I'm going to talk about it. And yes, of course that's they are a big part of it, but I don't know if anyone out there has felt, depressed, scared, anxious, worthless, and, you wanted to kind of get out of that. And I can say I can relate to those feelings. This is going to be a lot harder than I thought. So I'm going to try to not be emotional, but it's a very emotional topic for me. So let me tell you, when I started this, when I thought I started this direct sales business, I thought I was doing it because I wanted to stay home with my family and I wanted to support my family. And that's kind of why I decided to look into it. It has definitely evolved, and I've peeled the onion over time, and me being able to peel that onion and know the real reason has really helped and catapulted me to do the uncomfortable things, the real uncomfortable things. So, most of you watching know that I am an addict. I'm a recovering addict, and I've been in recovery for several years, okay? So deep in my addiction, I did some horrible things that most addicts do, and it caused me to spend time in jail. And as a result, I am a convicted felon. I am a convicted felon. After all of that, they're over 10 years old. When you have felony convictions, no matter how long, and they're non-violent or whatever, they still stay with you. And once, years after I got clean, and I got a job, and I had all these, and I started having a family, and I wanted to do a little more. But I had these felony convictions, okay? Felony convictions holding me back. And I felt worthless, and I felt hopeless. And I worked at Red Lobster for about 10 years, and maybe like 3 years into it, they said I should be a manager, and everyone was really supportive of me doing that. They had me take tests to do it, the ServSafe. They had me do training, and they gave me all this extra responsibility, and I thought, like, wow, I'm going to be able to do something. I'm going to be able to do something else. And I remember the day when I got the phone call. You ever just think of those days where you just think that nothing has gone right? Well, that was the day. It was a horrible November rainy day, and I'm in my car, and I get a phone call from the corporate saying that even with the recommendations, even with, my felonies being over 10 years old, that legal has decided that they weren't going to let me be a manager. And, I had several years clean at that point. I'm a mother, and I felt horrible. It was one of the hardest days. I don't know if you've ever had something in your life where you felt like no matter how hard you kept trying, that nothing was going to work out right. That's how I felt. I felt like I was going to let down my family. I felt I felt like a worthless person, that I had went through this hard work to get clean, and it was pointless. That's how I felt. Okay. And I wanted to and of course I wanted to throw myself a pity party. And I'm going to say I got that phone call, it was like November 2016. So a little bit before I had my last child, a little bit before I decided to give these home-based businesses a chance. What I'm saying is, with these businesses, I had the opportunity to finally do something, and to be able to get paid for what I'm worth, to be able to feel like I can be a successful, productive member of society without having someone tell me no for something, that happened. We hear a lot like we're made for more, feeling like I was made for more. So that's my why. That's really what helps me get through hard times and get out of bed. And it's not, and yes, I said like the external factors, like my kids and stuff, but it really was something deep within me, my life. I wanted to feel like I had a purpose, that, and with these home-based businesses and stuff, we have no glass ceiling. There's no one that's going to tell me no, that it's up to me. I can get paid for what I work. And I remember for years I was doing stuff, and I just wasn't getting paid for what I was worth. The why, your why, my why, our whys, it's the most important, influential thing that can really keep us, going and motivated. And it's hard. And it's hard to find, especially if you're not an emotional person. And mine was so hard to admit it, because I have a lot of shame. I have a lot of shame behind that. I can tell you that being a convicted felon makes everything a lot harder. Anywhere as far as, any place I want to live, anything. But the potential I have from Color Street, and even though, I can do so much more, and it makes it a lot easier, but that being out there really made me feel worthless. So my why is because I want to feel like I have worth in the world, and that is what helps me. I love being able to help other people, even if it's not with their business, even if it's just in their life, if they're having a bad day, if someone's struggling with an affliction, like that's what helps me. And I feel like I can have more power to do that, the more reach I have. So that's why I tell people, even if they're not on my team, to message me, to connect with me. It just, my why has so much more to do than my business. It has to do with me as a person. And for years, I felt like such a worthless person, and I felt hopeless. And, but those are all lies. And the day, I decided to stop playing the victim, and I did. And I remember calling my mom. I remember calling my mom that morning when I got that phone call, and I was just like, why did I even try? Why am I even doing anything? And she's like, it's gonna get easier. Sometimes we have to do and go through ugly things to get to, the beautiful part of life. And I believe that now, because I remember thinking that there was just like no reason to try to be a better person, but I decided to quit playing a victim, and I just kept going and going, and I found something, and that's what I do every single day. And that's why it's important for me to never forget where I came from. And that's what our why has to do. And I just, I implore you and challenge you to all to think about, if you're saying the reason why you're doing whatever you're doing is because of something on the outside, you should really look. Get, a journal, write it down, get some music, and it's definitely, it's inside of you. It's inside of you. You just have to like peel the layers away. It's probably gonna make you cry because like I said, I can't even, just saying, and it's gonna make you cry, but it's gonna be worth it, and that's what you think of. So yes, of course, I do this stuff to help my family, but that's not why. I do it for, me. And when I'm a better person, that helps my family. I thought I might get emotional, but I didn't think it was. It's just, it's something that I don't like to talk about a lot, but I know other people out there can relate. And, in our drug addicts, recovering addicts, alcoholics, we do recover, and I am evidence of that. And we can, change life. And we, and in these home-based businesses, we have our own power, and we know it's so empowering to know that the future is in my hands, that I can get paid for what I'm worth, that every month when I get paid, it's because of what I did. And I didn't have to like beg anyone or just be feeling nervous or whatever. So I just think that if you just take some time, and if ever you think what your why is, just, dig deeper and write it down somewhere, and maybe even go live on your page and talk about it. Our friends and family need to know. Our friends, our supports, our networks need to know why we're doing this, because they, it just helps. It helps connect each other. So if this helps you at all, or if you know someone that is struggling with something I mentioned, or finding a why, please go ahead and share this. I'll appreciate it. I really appreciate you all for jumping on and watching, and I will see you soon in the next few days. Have a good one.